Stay tuned and let's check out this Marvel Legends Disney Plus Infinity Ultron Build-A-Figure wave, Hawkeye. Ciao and welcome back to the channel, Dan Who Reviews. As always, my name is Dan W. Make sure you are following me on Instagram at It's Dan Who. And remember, you can now hit that join button and become a channel member as well. Either show some love or join the members club. Much appreciated. Today we continue looking at the Marvel Legends Disney Plus Infinity Ultron Build-A-Figure wave. As in front of me today, we have Clint Barton, aka Hawkeye, from his Disney Plus series. And to be fair to Clint, we haven't had too many opportunities to get him single packed. He's usually in a box set or in a 2-pack. We did get him as Ronin previously, but it is nice to add Clint in his most comic book inspired look to our MCU Phase 4 collection. So there he is in the box, some interchangeable hands, his trademark bow and quiver, and he's got a beat up head as well, which is a nice contrast to any previous version we've got. We get an Infinity Ultron Build-A-Figure piece, of course. We get the same image that's on the side that is on the back of the box, as well as a write-up that reads, Hawkeye's only shot at taking down a dangerous criminal conspiracy is an unlikely new partner, Kate Bishop. And then, as always, you get a list of all the figures in this wave you need to complete the Infinity Ultron Build-A-Figure. Today we're reviewing Hawkeye. And of course, we get Kate Bishop in this same wave to accompany Clint on their missions. So of course, I'll do a comparison. But first, let's open Clint. Here we have Clint, aka Hawkeye, out of the packaging with all of his accessories. So first things first, he comes with an arm for the Infinity Ultron Build-A-Figure. You know what to do, subscribe to the channel and come back as we will build and review him soon. Today we are focusing on Hawkeye. He comes with a set of interchangeable fisted hands and his bow and quiver. And I'm assuming the quiver will just attach onto his back like so, no problem at all. Now this is a completely pinless Marvel Legend, which is beautiful to see. It's got the digital face printing tech. Now in person, I don't know if it looks like he's got a small head or a long neck. I can't quite figure it out, but it does look very nice. Undoubtedly very aesthetically pleasing, and definitely looks like the character. So let's do this a little bit different. Let's start with some comparisons. So here we have a couple of that Marvel Legend Clint Barton figures. The one on the left came in a Quantum Realm 2-pack with multiple different heads, but the Quantum Realm suit, as we know, was not grey in the actual movie, so it's very inaccurate. And the one on the right here came way back in 2015 in an Amazon exclusive 4-pack for Age of Ultron, I believe, and it also came in the sort of Best of Avengers wave, and there was also a version back in Walmart. So yeah, there's been a few different Hawkeyes, but in modern times, a little bit harder to get hold of, and this one doesn't even have the digital face printing tech. But as you can see, the new Hawkeye in the middle is definitely the tallest, but only just. You can see he's just under 6.5, just over 6.25, if you will. So there you go. He's the tallest Hawkeye. As I said, he does look like he's got a long neck, but comparing him side by side with the others, he does look like the best Hawkeye. And I also think the likeness is the best, even though he's got a beaten up face as well. So if we zoom in and just take a look at these 3 unmasked Clint Barton heads, you can tell me in the comments which one do you think is the best. Now the one in the middle is of course this brand new Disney Plus version that's beaten up. I think it's pretty good. The previous Quantum Realm suit one is pretty good as well, with the sort of faded hairstyle, but he is a little bit glossy. And then the old one is a pretty good job considering its time, but the digital face printing tech will always win. But let me know in the comments which ones you prefer. I do think I gravitate towards the beaten up Clint. Sorry. And for anyone who said they preferred the Quantum Realm head over the beaten up one, you can't exactly swap it on this new body. As I said, it suffers from long neck, and also the head is sort of the wrong skin tone. It's just a bit too glossy in there. Yeah, as you can see, it doesn't work. You can use the new head on the Quantum Realm body, however, and it sort of works on the old Avengers body, but now he suffers from no neck. So to be honest, it's probably best to avoid any head swaps at all. So back to our new Hawkeye figure to take a look at the rest of him. As I said, it is based off a modern comic design, and I think they've done a great job bringing that into live action, into the MCU, and it is probably my favourite look for Hawkeye so far. Now, granted, it's very simple because it's basically all black from the boots all the way up to the torso with a bit of the purple highlights, but still simple, smart, nice, and because it's pinless as well, it just really adds to that aesthetic. So the advantage of it being all black is that it hides the articulation really well too, as you've got butterfly joints there, you've got a waist cut, you've got an ab crunch, and again, just hides it really well. Nice range, as you would expect for a Marvel Legend. So the shoulders will go all the way up, you've got the bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, no problem at all, and again, completely pinless there. You've got the ab crunch, which is a decent enough range forward and back. You've got the waist swivel, as you can see. Now the legs will go out pretty far, there's a thigh swivel, legs will go forward decently, and then double jointed pinless knees. He can kick his own lower back, no problem at all. Ankle pivot rocker. So as you would expect for Marvel Legends articulation, and that butterfly joint here will allow for some great poses, sort of pulling back his bow and arrow. Now he's a lefty, of course, so he holds it with his right hand and pulls back with his left. Now I've already put on the quiver, as we've seen earlier. That's a separate piece attached to his back. It would have been great if this was hollow and you had some trick arrows, maybe one with pin particles would have been great, but these are all sculpted in. This is one solid piece, but it creates a nice silhouette over his shoulder all the same. And as I said, some nice sculpted details for the rest of his costume on the figure as well, and some different textures as well, especially on the sort of waist area. But yeah, simple enough design, and he comes with, as I said, the pulling back hand and then the gripping hand. So let's get out the bow. So there he is holding his bow, as you can see, and it poses up very nicely as well, utilizing those double jointed elbows and the sort of butterfly joint as well. Now the bow, obviously that pullback is just a soft piece of plastic. Now that is very brittle. Maybe you can cut that off and replace it with some string, so you could get maybe the string looping around some of the fingers here. That would look great as well, but it still sort of works for posing all the same. So there's our option for Hawkeye with his bow, his trademark of course. But if you do want to get into some fisticuffs, he comes with a set of fisted hands, which should come as standard with all Marvel Legends, but it does allow him to punch some of the tracksuit mafia in the face. Now we just need a two-pack or an army builder of those guys, but there we go. And then one more look at his bow. It is basically all black with a tiny bit of white there for the handle, and you can sort of just dangle it over the neck like so, and get him to carry it, but it sort of does sort of ride up on the neck, so you might have to finagle that to work, but still, it's nice when you compose a figure on the shelf holding all of his accessories. Probably just best to put it over his shoulder, maybe, but yeah, you can get it to work. And of course, we needed to see what Clint looked like compared to Kate, and I think they complement each other beautifully. The purples are a little bit different. Kate's is a little bit brighter. Clint is a little bit taller, as he should be, so they scale together really nicely too. The likenesses are great, and yeah, they're going to fit very nicely into an MCU Phase 4 shelf. Completely pinless and great representations of the characters from the show. And we are rumoured to be getting more characters from the Hawkeye show next year in figure form. Characters that like Kingpin, which I'm really excited for, and also maybe a stealth version of Elena. So we shall see. But these two, for now, look great. And I didn't show off Ronan earlier, but we did see Ronan flashbacks in the Hawkeye series, so it does make sense to see these posed together, of course. And again, they look really nice. Will the new head fit on the Ronan body? To be honest, no, it doesn't really. It sits very loose. It doesn't even peg on there. It's literally too big for the peg. But maybe for a few photos you could get it to work on the display. But yeah, for me, not really. Here we have Clint compared to Elena, and of course Daredevil, who we may see in the MCU very soon. I haven't seen the new She-Hulk yet, but maybe. But as you can see, he looks great. And here we have a couple more face figures that are also in this Infinity Ultron Build-A-Figure wave with Moon Knight and She-Hulk. And so far, this is a solid wave of MCU figures. And to finish off, here we have Frogman, White Rabbit and Tigra. And last but absolutely never least, here we have Captain Britain and Hal Fire Hank. So, final thoughts of this Marvel Legends Disney Plus Infinity Ultron Build-A-Figure Wave Hawkeye. This is a solid representation of Clint Barton from the MCU. Now, even though I showed off a few comparisons in this video, in the grand scheme of things, he doesn't have too many Marvel Legends. So it is nice to get an updated version in this particular costume design. And it will go great as well with Caters on the shelf. As I did really enjoy the Hawkeye series, which is going to lead to Echo. So of course we're going to get more accompanying characters in figure form, hopefully next year. But yeah, always happy to add more MCU characters to the shelf. And this is a great Hawkeye. At first, as I said, the neck seemed a little bit too long, but I guess when you get him posed up right, he looks really nice. And what more can we ask for? He's completely pinless. He has the right accessories. Maybe an unbeaten up head would have been a nice option, but at least this one is a little bit different. And he was always beaten up in the show, so I can't complain too much. But yeah, I like it. You let me know what you think in the comments below, as always. And if you like Marvel Legends, then you're in the right place. Check out the videos tab, find the playlists, but most importantly, please, 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 hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, don't miss out on a video, and please, hit that join button, become a channel member, either show some love or join the members club. Much, much appreciated. You can follow me on Instagram at It's Dan Who. And you can follow me on Twitter as well. Tweet me at Dan Who Reviews. And until then, people, my name is Dan W. And I'll, of course, see you on the next one.